Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into a pretty profound idea from Eastern wisdom. What if your whole life could be a celebration? Not just, the big moments. We're going to look at how to shift from constantly chasing temporary pleasure to living in a state of continuous peace and joy. Let's get right into it.
You know that feeling, right? You look forward to a birthday, a vacation, a big promotion. You get that awesome rush of happiness, and then poof, it's gone. And you're left just waiting for the next thing to come along. Well, the source material we're digging into today asks a really important question. What if we've been looking for happiness in all the wrong places?
And that brings us to this really key distinction. On one side, you've got the celebration of an event. It's temporary, it depends on something outside of you, and it's all based on pleasure. But on the other side, there's this idea of celebrating life itself. And that's something continuous, something internal, and it's built on a real foundation of peace. The philosophy we're exploring says this isn't just a tiny adjustment, it's a complete flip in how we experience our day-to-day lives. Okay, so how in the world do you make a shift like that? Well, this wisdom points right to our relationship with our own mind. And this quote, wow, it just nails the whole problem. It's asking, are you in control? Are you using your mind as the amazing tool that it is? Or is your mind eating you? Is it just running your life for you based on all its old habits and reactions? The truth is, for most of us, most of the time, our mind is totally running the show. The source calls this the untrained mind. It's basically on autopilot, kind of like a hamster on a wheel, just constantly chasing the next good feeling. It's driven by this endless cycle of I like this, I don't like that, and it just automatically reacts with anger or anxiety or greed. This life of just unconscious habit, the text argues, is the real source of our suffering. So what's the root cause of this mental autopilot? Well, it's defined as a very specific kind of ignorance. And listen, this isn't about not having enough facts or being book smart, no. It's an incomplete knowledge of our own true nature. It's a deep, fundamental misunderstanding of who we really are beneath all the labels, our jobs, our roles, our relationships. This analogy of the snake and the rope just illustrates it perfectly. Imagine you're in a dark room. You see a rope on the floor, but your mind projects the image of a snake. Instantly, your reality becomes fear, your heart starts pounding, you panic, and it's all from a simple misperception. Well, the source argues our minds do the exact same thing. They project this idea that happiness is out there somewhere, creating a life of constant searching and, you guessed it, suffering. So, what's the way out? It starts by rethinking our goals. I mean, think about it. We pour so much time and energy into all the goals in life. The career, the family, getting the house. And yeah, those things are all important. But what if there's a deeper, more universal goal of life that we're missing? A goal that actually supports all the others. Self-discovery. The journey to find out who we truly are.
And when you start focusing on self-discovery, you stumble upon what the text calls an open secret. It's a secret because, well, so few of us seem to realize it, but it's open because it's available to literally everyone. And the secret is this, that permanent peace and happiness we are so desperately looking for outside of ourselves, it's already our own true nature. It's not something you have to go out and find, it's something you just have to uncover.
Of course, knowing this secret is one thing, but actually living it is a whole different ballgame. So how do we do it? This is where the practical side comes in, a whole framework known as sadhana. Don't think of it as just one technique. Think of it more like a complete system, a workout program for your mind, designed to systematically move you away from all the habits that cause suffering and guide you toward that peaceful nature you already have. And a person who actually commits to walking this path, they're called a sadhaka, or a seeker. And you're not qualified by some special talent or anything. No, you're qualified simply by your sincerity and your commitment to making the journey. And their destination, the finish line, that's called the sadhya. It's the ultimate goal. This is the end of all that self-created suffering and the direct awakening to your true nature. It's basically the full realization of that open secret we talked about. Now, I know this might be sounding a bit abstract, but the source text for this, called the Sadhana Panchakam, lays out a surprisingly practical and concrete map for this whole journey. It's actually broken down into 40 distinct steps. 40 simple, effective steps designed to guide a seeker all the way to freedom. And these 40 steps aren't just a random checklist. They're organized into a super clear, progressive path that's meant to be integrated right into your life, not to make you retreat from it. It starts with building a foundation of knowledge.
Then you learn how to apply it while living in the world, in your job, with your family. From there, the commitment deepens into more dedicated practices, which leads you into formal meditation to train the mind directly. And all of this ultimately guides you toward that final step, awakening.
So, what's the big takeaway from all this? The whole process, from that very first step to the very last, it's all about this one fundamental transformation. It's about retraining your mind from a state of constantly needing to seek pleasure from the outside world to a state where it naturally expresses the peace and happiness that is already its true nature. And that leaves us with one final question to just kind of chew on. As you go about the rest of your day, it's really worth asking yourself, who's in the driver's seat right now? Are you consciously living your life, or is your mind, with all its old programming and reactions, living it for you? Something to think about.